Spinning. Yay! Hello, everyone. Happy Monday.
Hello, happy Monday.
Welcome back to the Attractions Podcast, the regular edition. Thanks to those of you who tuned into our bonus edition last week. That's going to be going out in our podcast in just a couple weeks because we're both going to be away from town. So we're going to take a week off coming up in a few weeks, but you'll be able to get that bonus interview we did with Carlos Navarro. It was a great episode.
He was
It was a
so
really great
fun.
interview. Let's just say
Great
hi to
guy.
some folks we've got here waiting for us in the chat. We'll wait for some folks to join. Vince Lamb wishing everyone a happy Monday the 13th. Garfield the cat's least favorite day. Galentine's Day and an early Valentine's Day to everyone. Thank you, Vince. Michael is checking in. He is over at IOA right now, and he is checking in from the Universal Orlando Resort. Hope you're having a great time, Michael. Blossom and Terry checking in as always. Happy Monday. Brian Sager in the chat. Good luck for anyone being at Disneyland later for Patrick Mahomes is at the 1:30 parade. Yes, MVP of the Super Bowl. He goes to Disneyland or Disney World, depending on which coast he's on. Yeah, so I guess that big celebration is happening just after we record this.
Yes. And if anyone is also checking out, there's like a Silver Dollar City announcement. If anyone pops in, let us know in the comments what that is. Because
please, yes.
Historic announcement.
John Self checking in. He's back home. I'm sure he'll be back in Orlando soon. Hello, John. Matthew. Oop. Alexa off.
Technology.
Didn't mean to do that. Oh my goodness. Alexa off. Sorry about that, folks. Hopefully that won't happen again. And finally, Matthew saying hi. Welcome to everyone. All right, I think we got enough people in the chat. Unless Alexa has anything else to say about it, I think we are going to kick this show off in 3, 2.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 178 of the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. I'm Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what is going on in our own lives. Carly, I feel like it's been days since I saw you. We both got to hang out together at the media event for Universal Mardi Gras. It was so great seeing you.
It was so great to see you. We had a great time. The weather was perfect that day. We got to see the parade. We ate some delicious food, which we were just talking about. If you go, try the chicken schnitzel from Germany, please. Everyone out there that is planning a trip. The menus are really good.
Yeah.
I mean, that festival, just like the food part, the flavors of Carnival, just gets better and better every year. And it was good. Did you have a favorite?
I would have to say, if you like crustaceans, I thought that the whole deep fried soft shell crab from the Asian booth was fantastic. It's in this rich chili stew served with sweet rolls. It's about the priciest item at the event, but if I paid that much in a restaurant, I would be happy.
So I'm having a little soft shell crab PTSD from the Epcot one.
Yeah, the Epcot one was a little that was a little rough.
Spit a food item into a napkin, and I did.
Oh no!
In that case, it was not good. So I'm like, I will try the Universal one to cleanse my palate.
Right. Well, if nothing else, the chili stew will clear your sinuses. So
well, it sounds delicious.
Yeah, I invested in one of those tasting lanyards. They're a great deal if you're an annual pass holder, and I've still got some money left on it, so I'll be working my way through all of the booths for sure.
Oh yeah, such a good deal. I got the 151 for 120. Insane. Such a good deal.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're an annual pass holder, you still get your annual pass discount on the items themselves on top of it. So yeah, it can add up. Did you do anything else exciting? Was that the highlight of your week?
Oh, that was the highlight of my week. Right now, I am getting my wardrobe together for the Super Nintendo World
Oh,
opening at Universal Hollywood. I am so excited. I don't know how I'm going to sleep the next few days. So I can't wait. It's going to be
so jealous.
amazing.
So jealous. We are going to get your full report, and I will be back. I will be out there at the 1st of March. I'll get to experience it as a normal guest, but you will get the red carpet treatment.
Yes.
So
Well, I'm going to go. So I'm re-getting my annual pass there. So I'm going to go again on Sunday, because you have to see it both ways. When
sure,
these events happen, it's not really like an authentic look at the real experience. So
absolutely,
I
yeah.
will be back using my annual pass on Sunday to give the full report.
Okay, well, you'll have to give us the good and the bad.
Yes.
Can't wait to hear about it. All right, well, without any further ado, let's jump into the news in the queue. All right, we are starting out with some sad news from Disneyland. Mickey's Toontown was supposed to open in just a few days, but it's been delayed until March 19th due to epic rains that they have been having in Southern California.
Yeah, I mean, the rain is a good thing for California, definitely. But this is a bummer if you had plans to visit for the reopening, because what the life that they've put into this area now, and the retheming and the new spots, it looks really amazing. So hopefully you can reschedule your trip.
Yeah, so the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway ride, which has been added to this area, is open. So a portion of the land is accessible. But a whole nother area with Donald's Boat and Goofy's Playhouse and the Mickey and Minnie meet and greets, that's all still walled off. It was supposed to officially open on March 8th, which is the day that I leave California, and I was
Oh,
hoping that there'd be a soft opening a couple days before that, but no such luck. 11-day delay, now officially opening March 19th. So that's when you'll finally be able to check it out. It does look great. Concept art looks nice
right.
and open and spacious. A lot of places just kind of relax and unwind, which is a nice change for Disneyland.
Absolutely. Definitely a good spot if you have little ones, because there's really not a lot of places in Disneyland to like sit and chill, So this will be a good spot for that. I'm heading there on Friday. So hopefully I will get to go on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Such a
Yeah,
hard one to say. Never
it
gets
is. It is. I
all the
stumble
years
over it
here.
every time. Too many R's.
Yes.
Yeah, it's I'm excited to check out the differences myself when I'm out there between the Florida and the California versions. I've heard that they definitely seem to have plussed it out there for Disneyland. And
Absolutely.
maybe if we're lucky, they'll reopen Roger Rabbit, because that is over on the side that is open.
Right.
So could certainly access it. Maybe they'll get that open a few days early. That would be nice.
Definitely.
If you're planning a trip out to Disneyland to check all this out, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel will get you there. All right. Next up, also coming to Disneyland Resort, this time at California Adventure, starting on February 15th. They're welcoming an all-new superhero for a limited time only, Moon Girl, from the new Disney Plus Disney Channel show Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, is going to be appearing at DCA.
Yes, this is really cool. So this is going to start happening on Wednesday, February 15th. Now, this is something I definitely want to check out. The costume looks amazing.
Yeah,
Looks so good.
those boots.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
remind me
I
of the moon
honestly,
shoes we had as kids.
I know nothing at all about this character, but just seeing the poster, I love the vibrant color. I love the character design. I would definitely snap a selfie with her if I got a chance to. Yeah, this is a limited time thing. They haven't announced the end of it, but it's to celebrate the debut of this show on the Disney Channel on February 10th. If you don't have the Disney Channel, you can get it on Disney Plus starting on the 15th. And hopefully she'll stay around for a little while.
Yes.
But don't wait too long. They've also
No.
said this is part of the Celebrate Soulfully celebration throughout the month. That is combining food, entertainment, and experiences to celebrate Black stories across the Disneyland Resort.
Yes. I love how the characters change so often.
Mhm.
It's exciting. You might miss one, but they're continually trying to, bring some exciting new characters there.
Yeah, especially Marvel. I have to feel like some of the marketing budget for Disney Plus's Marvel shows must be getting dumped into these characters for Disneyland,
Absolutely.
because we don't see those guys out at Disney World
Nope.
nearly as often. All right, so February 15th, set your calendar and go meet Moon Girl. Heading back to the East Coast. Good news for those of you who like sleeping on clean sheets. Walt Disney World housekeeping services returning to pre-pandemic levels finally. By the end of February, you will once again get daily housekeeping or every other day housekeeping, depending on which level of hotel you're in. That will be a nice return.
Yes. I have some throwback from my last Disney housekeeping experience. If you remember when they knocked at my
Yes.
door at 8 a.m. So this is a
Yes.
sore subject, but hopefully this means more people got jobs.
Yes.
So
It is ironic that the only day they seem to be interested in cleaning your room is the day that you're leaving.
yes.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I remember there was a time where daily housekeeping was just for granted at any hotel, especially a hotel as expensive as a Disney on-site hotel.
Right.
And there was a point when they made it optional, and if you elected to get rid of housekeeping, you would get a gift card, right? Wasn't that
Yep.
a
You got
thing
a
for a
gift card.
while?
Mhm.
But after a while, the housekeeping just pretty much dwindled to nearly nothing. And there was no compensation, and the rates did not go down. And COVID was the explanation, but now it is back. So you get your towels replaced, your amenities, your bathrooms clean, your beds made, your trash emptied, and vacuuming, which will be nice. That'll be
Yeah,
nice to
I
go.
think I usually travel by myself, so I don't really need housekeeping, more like
Mhm.
maybe some towels and stuff. I
But
think
if
the
you're
big
traveling with a family, if you've got
That's what I was
kids,
gonna say. Oh my
yeah.
god, the food mess. A lot of
Hmm.
parents grab a pizza, chicken fingers from the food court, go back
Yeah.
to the room and dine in there. Like that is disgusting.
Yeah.
Because the rooms are so small.
Well, here's a tip. Housekeeping, they still have a very limited amount of time to take care of each room. So, clean up after yourself. Don't,
Right.
you don't have to scrub the floors, but don't leave garbage everywhere. It's just polite. And be sure to tip your housekeeping
Mhm.
staff, because they work hard. Um, they've also announced that newly refurbished Disney Boardwalk Inn rooms are going to be debuting over the next couple weeks. You got a photo here, with a little preview of some of the character artwork that's going to be added to the rooms. And so, if you are especially a DVC member who stays at Boardwalk, check those out. All right. Moving on to Busch Gardens, Tampa, we've got two pieces of news out from the Busch Gardens area. The first is that Serengeti Flyer, the big new swing ride, is going to officially open on February 27th. And if you are a Busch Gardens pass holder, you can get a chance for an early preview very soon.
Yeah, this is really cool. I can't personally do swing rides. I think I've aged out of them. You're going to go 135 feet up, and the views are cool. I wish I could do it because you're going to be looking over the Serengeti.
Yes, I'm sure it will be a gorgeous view if you
Right.
can stand to open your eyes when you're swinging at up to 68 miles per hour.
Oh my gosh.
Uh, the multiple negative G moments, progressively higher up to a maximum of 135 feet at the peak of the swing. Um, and the interesting thing is you're going to be seated back to back. They've got two rows
Oh
of
Lord.
gondolas, so 40 people at a time can ride facing in opposite directions. So when you're going up, someone's going down, and vice versa.
Ooh.
This looks pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
there's a lot of, swing rides, spinning rides, flat rides like this. This is like next level.
Yeah, yeah. So if you are a Tampa Bay Busch Gardens Pass member, they've got a Passport to Thrills program. You had to visit one time in December, one time in January, and you visit one time in February. You go to the Pass Lounge or Guest Relations, and you can get a preview ticket on February 24th. So that's the Passport to Thrills event. Check the details out on their website about that if you're a pass
Very
holder.
cool.
Yeah, so you're going to take a pass on this one, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I am,
I'll look at it.
unfortunately, I am going to be out of town on opening day, so I don't think I'll be able to go on the 27th. It might be a little while before I work up the nerve
Yeah.
to strap myself into this one. Right next door to Busch Gardens Tampa Bay at Adventure Island Water Park, they are debuting the new Shakalaka Shores.
Love it.
Love that name. It's a new children's area with splash pads, zero depth entry, 25 elements to play on, plus some private cabanas for the parents to chill out in.
Yes, we've been seeing a lot of these lately, water parks closing for the season, adding these kind of waterscape play elements. I mean, this is perfect because you need an area now that parents can relax in, but also watch their little ones. And that's
Hmm.
kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this. Like at all the major, water parks, Blizzard Beach has that new frozen area that's sort of like this. I love to see it. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we're kind of seeing an era where building the biggest, tallest, fastest thrill slide is less important to the parks than building stuff that families can do together.
Definitely.
And speaking of things that families can do together, they've also, back in 2021, they added a Hang Ten Tiki bar and as well as 2 new slides. So this then is the largest expansion that the park has gone through in 40 years. And I read that and I didn't realize that Adventure Island Water Park was 40 years old.
Same. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Um, So if you are interested in planning a day at Adventure Island, um, you can get a single day ticket starting around $45. And there is an Adventure Island fun card. When you buy a Busch Gardens fun card, you can get a year or the rest of the year at Adventure Island thrown in for free.
Wow.
So head on over to adventureisland.com to get details on the deals they've got going on. And finally, for the news in the queue, Megacon Orlando 2023 is heading back here from March 30th through April 2nd, and they've got a roster of big names, including Hayden Christensen, Rosario Dawson, and more.
Yeah, I was surprised by this list. These are, there's also Chevy Chase. Like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he is notorious as not being a very cheerful person in
Yeah.
Q&As and interviews and things. So I'm curious to see how he responds to crowds of fans.
Right. And
But
Christina Ricci, that's so cool.
yes, yeah, that is great. A whole lineup. If you're a Star Wars fan, like I mentioned, Anakin Skywalker himself will be there, as well as a bunch of stars of The Mandalorian, including Katie Sackhoff and Carl Weathers and Giancarlo Esposito. You've got Sam Raimi, who is the director of Evil Dead and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and a million other amazing movies. Like you mentioned, Christina Ricci. It's a really long list.
Yeah.
Zachary Levi, James McAvoy. They've even got a reunion from the cast of Scream with Nev Campbell and Skeet Ulrich, Jamie Kennedy, Matthew Lillard. That's going to be a fun panel.
Right. And there's just such a shift in these smaller conventions that aren't obviously the mega Comic-Con in San Diego. I think, actors and stuff, maybe it was like the pandemic. Now they want to do these and see fans. I don't know what the shift is, but these conventions all across the country have been getting like top talent.
Yeah, absolutely. Megacon is a 4-day convention that takes place at the Orange County Convention Center here in Orlando. depending on the guests, some guests do Q&As, some guests just do signings or photographs. You can reserve these in advance to make sure if there's someone that you want to make sure that you get to meet or get signed with. In addition, there's panels that you can attend the folks from Clerks have done great panels in the past. And then there's just the floor. There's the booths. There's places to vendors, and there's just the crowd. All the people in cosplay. They are an attraction
Yes.
in of themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you ever been to MegaCon?
I haven't. I've done New York Comic Con. That's probably
yeah.
the closest thing, which was really good. Javits Center, it's huge. They're just fun. It's good people watching. Walk around,
Yeah, I mean, I've been going to MegaCon for, gosh, over 20 years, I think. But it's gotten overwhelming for me. It's gotten so huge. It's intense.
Right.
But if you are interested in checking it out for yourself, go to fanexpohq.com/MegaCon Orlando. All right. That is going to bring us to the end of our news in the queue. But before we jump into our big main attractions, it is time to hear a word from our sponsor.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and MEI-Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI-Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at mei-travel.com.
It's time for the main attraction!
All right, for this week's main attraction, it's a little bit of a bait and switch. We teased you with Avatar, but we're here to talk about finances.
Yes. Well, it all works together.
Ties together. We are here to talk about highlights from CEO Bob Iger's first returning quarterly earnings call. And it's good news, depending on if you are a fan of sequels and of
Right.
Avatar. The headline is that revenue is up 21% at the Disney Parks and Experiences branch of the company.
Shocker, really.
Operating costs are also up, so that balances out a little. But the theme parks are growing, according to Iger, and they are looking at investing more in the parks, which is good news for the fans.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's not really surprising. We kind of anticipated this. Everything costs more.
Yep.
It's pretty much as expected.
Yeah. They talked a lot about how they have per guest spending increasing while at the same time reducing attendance. Especially over the holiday period, they talked about having fewer people in the parks due to the park reservation system, but then making more money off of those fewer people.
Right. And that's kind of been like the overall theme of what they've been trying to do is, obviously annual passes are a hot commodity to even get. So they're just trying to deter all those, casual visitors and get those people coming in maybe once a year, and they're going to drop like 15 grand,
Yeah. We should also note that this comes, there's a little context to this. The cast members at Walt Disney World, the unionized cast members, just rejected Disney's contract offer. They're offering raises to $16 starting, and 96% of the union members who voted against that. So they're definitely going to be increasing labor costs at Disney. That's not going down. And at the same time, they recently announced layoffs. 7,000 people, 7,000 cast members going to be losing their jobs. They're trying to cut over $5 billion in expenses. Now, they have said that these cuts are not going to be frontline cast members. These are not necessarily the people you see in the parks. But these are going to be management and executive roles, behind the scenes roles that they are looking to slim down. So yeah, while there is good news at the top, the top line, there's going to be some pain for the employees.
Right. Yeah. And that's always hard. We went through so much during COVID with everyone getting laid off and whatever. So it is, sad to hear, but they're making money. So I guess that's about.
Now, some key things that we learned that we were kind of new surprises during this earnings call. The first is that some sort of avatar experience is coming somewhere to the Disneyland resort. It doesn't get much more vague than that.
There was literally nothing other than that he said. It was crazy. This could mean something like a VR experience. It might not even mean it's hard to get excited because it really could be anything. It could be a VR experience at that, Star Wars trading post at downtown Disney. There's spaces that they always shake up. So.
Well, okay. So in case you have been living under a floating rock, Avatar: The Way of Water, as Bob Iger said, is the most successful movie of the quarter. It's the fourth highest grossing movie globally already, and it's still in theaters. So obviously they want to find a way to bring this to the West Coast. Do not count on seeing an Avatar land just like what we have in Animal Kingdom, just plopping down somewhere at Disneyland. They don't have that much room.
No.
And I don't think they want to waste that much time. I've heard, they obviously definitely want to get this up and going before the next movie is released, which is December 2024, not far away.
Yeah.
I think they really want to capitalize on Avatar while it is hot again. I don't know what you have heard. The two strongest speculations I've heard for a location to put this would be the ESPN.
Yeah.
The old ESPN zone. Right now, they're doing some sort of exhibit in there. I believe maybe a Disney 100 exhibit, or I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but they've used it for various short-term museum-style exhibits. That, or if they wanted to put it in the parks, the Star Wars launch bay is looking pretty sad, and that would be a great place to put an exhibit.
And that would be a perfect, thematically, be good fit there. The only thing I've heard is those two locations and VR. Something.
Yeah. VR would be an interesting way to go. I know there are capacity issues with VR. It's expensive to maintain and the labor to, put people through VR. That could happen. Another possibility I've heard is, like John Self mentions here, some sort of walkthrough experience similar to one that they've built in Asia. I know some folks involved in that one that I think is at Shanghai, and if it is that exact exhibit moving over here, it would be news to them. But maybe something similar to that, exhibit of props and costumes and maybe some animatronics in a themed environment that I could definitely see getting put together, kind of, an interactive walkthrough experience.
Oh, and that would be quick.
Yep, absolutely. So Avatar coming to Disneyland Resort, but we don't know where, we don't know when, we don't know what. Just stay tuned.
I'm waiting. I'm so excited.
The other big bombshell that was dropped, we are getting sequels.
Yes.
Another Frozen movie, another Zootopia movie, and another Toy Story movie. We don't really have any details about storylines or anything like that, but Josh Gad confirmed that he's involved, I think. Tim Allen confirmed. This is all via social media. And I saw an Instagram post from Idina Menzel, I think, also saying so. Lead voices obviously coming back. I'm sure that they were handed big bags of cash to come back to the recording studios.
Twist my arm.
So of these three, which were you most excited to hear and which were you least excited to hear?
Frozen, because I know that's going to mean some good music.
Yeah.
You know, like Into the Unknown is like now one of my favorite Frozen songs. Least Zootopia, but just because it's not my thing.
Interesting. See, I really was kind of charmed by the first Zootopia, and I think that it was kind of like the pilot for a TV show and set up a lot of possibilities for future stories. Personally, I reached an emotional climax with Toy Story 3,
Yeah.
and like Toy Story 4 was very well made, but didn't really do anything for me, and I would just prefer to remember the first 3 movies. Sort of like how I'm with Indiana Jones. I prefer to remember the first 3 Indiana Jones movies, forget that there was a 4th. But if there's a 5th one that's really good, I will make an exception in both the Indiana Jones and Toy Story franchise.
I'll give it a shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, after the first Toy Story is still my favorite, so
Yeah.
watch them all.
I
But
love the first, but for me, the second, the second is always the best. I get cry every time at that song. That damn
yes,
song.
save your tears because I'm sure the 5th one will be a tearjerker.
And we have heard that a Zootopia attraction is in the works for Animal Kingdom, or at least in development. So I would
A
not
blue
be.
sky idea.
Yeah. Yes, it's a blue sky idea, but I think Iger re-emphasized in his earnings call that they are actively planning on expanding capacity, building stuff, or at least I don't know if it turns into just a retheme of dinosaur, at least revitalizing interest in that attraction.
I would, my heart would just sink to the floor. That's one of my top 5 attractions.
We've always got Indiana Jones. As long as we got
Oh.
Indiana Jones, I'm sorry, I'm willing to
No.
sacrifice dinosaur.
The pre-show video of Dinosaur is my favorite pre-show video, so I guess it'll live on.
It will live on in YouTube forever. Anyway, I wouldn't be shocked if elements of the new Zootopia film show up in whatever they eventually build in Animal Kingdom, if they build it. And there were some other highlights from this earnings call. Some more information about Disney Plus, which is still losing money, but they expect to eventually make some money on it, as well as a little bit of financial information about ESPN. We've got a full breakdown on our website if you are interested in all the gory financial details.
Yes.
All right. Well, that just about brings us to the end of yet another show. Before we go, we've got to thank, as always, our sponsors, MEI and MEI-Travel. And I just want to remind you to please head on over to Spotify, leave us a rating and a review on Apple Podcast. It helps us get the word out. And if you want to find more coverage from all of us and Attractions Magazine on the interwebs, you can find me at the UG Series on Twitter, at the Unofficial Guides on Instagram, and at theunofficialguides.com. Carly, where can folks find you?
Yes, I am Carly Caramata on Twitter and Adventures by Carly on Instagram.
And of course, you can find the entire Attractions Magazine team here for you 24/7 at attractionsmagazine.com, at Attractions on Twitter, at Attractions Magazine on Instagram, at youtube.com/attractionsmagazine, and at Attractions on TikTok. And until next week, we hope you folks stay safe, try something new, and most of all, have fun.
Yes.
Bye, and we will see you next time.
See you next week.
Bye.